Um, all right. What's up, Trojans? What a fucking long day. I'm stressed out right now. Like I got things going on. I'm so freaking busy. I heard something terrible that may or may not be true regarding a good friend of mine. And I'm trying to relax. I just had lunch. I'm trying to watch a movie here, and I'm getting all these notifications and texts and all that. But I don't know when I'm gonna upload this, but I'm gonna do the life stories that I said I would do. I didn't think anybody would care, but a lot of my fans and a lot of my friends have said that they want to see this. I don't know if I'm gonna go all the way till 2015, but I'm gonna try. I am not gonna talk about everything though. I'm not gonna talk about like the life on them streets, because nobody needs to hear that, and I'm not gonna talk about marriages or anything like that, failed marriages. Children, kids will be maybe drop name drop like here and there, but I'm gonna try to stay away from that type of talk. Okay, so the first year I'm gonna start is with 2003. Um, I'm not gonna say what year I was born. I won't say how old I am either, but there'll be like a little hints like when I talk about the years. But pretty much from like the time I was born, it was fun. You know, I was in New York and then I came to Florida. Uh, Damn, yeah. And then like in the '90s, it was like grade school, and in the early 2000s, it was middle school. I was a huge Power Ranger fan, you know, and I liked all that '90s shit. I liked Nickelodeon, I liked Cartoon Network, I liked Dragon Ball Z. You know, in the early 2000s, it was Pokemon, Digimon, Yu Gi Oh. But Power Rangers was something that like I got attached to. Um, and I still like it. I think the people who air it now they dropped the ball on it, huge, 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 huge. But it's still good or whatever. I prefer Super Sentai though, but that's just me. Um, but yeah, I was a little ass kid back then, man. Um, but I had like a little imagination, a big imagination back then, and I kind of still have one now. But I I understand that times have changed and that shit like that doesn't fly anymore. You know what I mean? But yeah. Let me see if this door's unlocked. But fuck it. All right. Can you guys see me? I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna stand up. So yeah, that was my life pretty much. Long story short, from the time I was born to 2002, 2002, I was gonna say 2003 was it was somewhat the same, at least the first half until late 2003 because that's when I started watching wrestling like habitually. I was still like a huge Power Ranger mark. I attended Taekwondo classes like beginning of that year, and then I left, and then I got into science fiction in the summer. But when the fall happened, um, wow, man, the fall. That's when I discovered. You see, here's what happened. My brother and I saw like a little bit of wrestling here and there growing up. Like I saw WCW, ECW, WWF, but I learned like I was watching through channels one day, and then it was a storyline with Vince McMahon on SmackDown. Oh, and by the way, back then the brands were so separated that I didn't even know there was another show. Like all I knew was SmackDown, and I used to watch SmackDown and be like, "Where's Sting? Where's Goldberg? Where's Stone Cold? Where's The Rock?" You know, because I knew these guys, but like I thought it was only one show. So I watched it, and it was Mr. McMahon with Sable versus like Stephanie. They were building up for this pay per view, and I had a friend that I went to school with that watched wrestling and talked about it all the time. But back then, I didn't really know like anything about it. It would piss me off when he talked about it because I'd be lost. I wouldn't know what he was talking about. Then I would go up to him after that. I was like, "Hey, I saw wrestling last night, and it's this man fighting with his daughter or something." And my friend's like, "Yeah, that's gonna happen on pay per view." So I'm like, "Really?" So the pay per view happened or whatever. I didn't watch it. It was No Mercy 2003. But I told my brother about it, and he was like, "I want to check it out," you know. So we watched the next week, like the next SmackDown, to see what happened. You know, I think I watched like maybe 1 or 2 weeks before No Mercy, and then he watched after with me. Like he watched the post No Mercy SmackDown with me, and it was Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon had won apparently, and he had named Paul Heyman the new general manager of SmackDown. Now I didn't know who he was back then, and to be honest, I didn't really care that much. Like I just cared about that storyline, and then I just said, this stuff is okay, but I'm not gonna watch it. But my brother, he stayed on the TV, like he kept watching it, and then he was like, "Hey, this show's pretty badass." So I started checking it out with him, and this was the golden year, man. We only watched from for like 3 months of 2003, October, November, December, but that was the shit. SmackDown, you had Edge, Rey Mysterio, Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, Los Guerreros, The Big Show, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, you name it, they were all there. Tajiri, um, great show in the Ruthless Aggression era of SmackDown. So we watched every week, and then we were getting ready. Now, keep in mind, I'm only watching for 1 month now, and this is only one brand. It's not cross branded. The build up for the next show they were doing, Survivor Series, was so fucking huge, and SmackDown only had 4 matches for that. It was so fucking huge that I actually begged my mom because I was a kid back then. I begged my mom for the pay per view, and I got it. I got to watch it. I'm not even a wrestling fan for even a month yet, and I'm already wanting to see a pay per view because the build up was just so good. You had Undertaker and Vince McMahon in a Buried Alive match, Team Lesnar versus Team Angle. Great matches, man. There was a cruiserweight title match with Noble versus Tajiri, and a tag team title match with Los Guerreros versus the Bashams, but I didn't care. And then I wanted to see it, and then like I said, I'm watching the pay per view, and then these Raw matches come up, and I'm like, what the hell is Raw? And apparently there's another show that was sharing the pay per view with them. I was like, holy shit, because they were so separated. You know how like they rely on each other now? They were so separated. I didn't even know that there were like 2 shows. So then I got into Raw, and I saw Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H and Goldberg and some people that Kane, some people that I knew of but I never watched. And Steve Austin seemed lost, which broke my heart because back then, for like my first 5 years of watching wrestling, I was like a huge babyface mark. And Steve Austin lost, so it pissed me off or whatever. And then he got like storyline fired. But then Mick Foley came in because we started watching Raw after that. We watched both after that, and Mick Foley came in, and he was the co-general manager before he walked out in his match with Orton. And Raw was good. Batista was fucking huge, man. Randy Orton was a heel, and I hated him. I hated Bischoff. I hated Evolution. Both shows in 2003 were awesome. Raw and SmackDown. I only watched for the last 2 months of that year, but it was awesome. And keep in mind, I'm not even a wrestling fan for 3 months yet. And when Christmas came, all I asked for was wrestling stuff. I wasn't even a fan for a complete 3 months yet. I got wrestling games. I got it for free because I'm spoiled. I got wrestling games, wrestling DVDs, wrestling toys. I don't know if I got DVDs. I didn't think that was until like years later, but I got games, toys. I got the ring, like the play set. I got wrestlers. I had like 30 wrestlers, man. You could have made a rumble of all the wrestlers I got. Great Christmas, great year. And even though it was only for the last 3 months, 2003 will forever be the year that I fell in love with wrestling. It's really too bad it's turned out the way it has now because, I thought that product I was watching was going to last forever. They called it the Ruthless Aggression era. And I really thought in my heart of hearts that product that I was watching was going to last forever and it would always be there. And it is, but it's changed to the point where I can't watch it anymore. And I sat through a lot of crap over the years, but yeah. I know this really wasn't a video where I talked about a lot, but I mainly just want to talk about like the last 3 months of that year. The next videos in this series, it's gonna be more in depth because they're gonna be full years. They're gonna be where I review the full year and not just a quarter of it. But I hope you like this life story. As this series continues, I'm gonna talk about more about my experience as a wrestling fan and also some of my life experiences on things outside of wrestling, like things that happened to me, things I came across. I don't know if I should use people's names or just make up fake names to protect the innocent. I don't know if that's allowed, so if anyone can like give me an idea. Should I mention people by name or should I just put a fake name to protect the innocent, John? So let me know what you guys think about this video. And if you guys want me to continue doing this, I'll keep doing it. Just let me know. It's going to get deeper, trust me, because this was just when I was a young kid. As I grew up to what I am now, it became, as Marilyn Manson would say, the long, hard road out of hell. All right, so take care, guys. Bye-bye. All right, bye, guys. Take care. See you later. Take it easy, y'all. How do I turn this shit off? All right, bye-bye.